Mr. Schiff, please address.
Bitcoin,
Let me
just,
strictly.
I'm just going to address the points that he just made. Then you can ask me what you're going to ask me. But look, Bitcoin isn't pure anything, and it's not the only anything. But to correct what the flaw in your argument. So 100% of gold's use is its industrial value. Now, the people who are storing gold today are not using the gold for those reasons, but they're storing it so that somebody else can use it for those reasons in the future. Maybe it's 1,000 years in the future, right? But if it wasn't for gold's use as a metal, as a precious metal, and all of the things that we need gold to do, nobody would want it. The reason it's a store of value is because in 1,000 years, somebody can take that gold and actually do something valuable with it, right? And so all of the demand for gold rests on its industrial uses. None of Bitcoin's value rests on that because it doesn't have any. And you're saying that 100% of Bitcoin's use is for money. I would say that that's a negligible percentage. The number one use case for Bitcoin is speculation. People are buying Bitcoin because they believe it will be $1 million of Bitcoin, $10 million of Bitcoin. They believe that they're going to be broke if they don't have Bitcoin, right? That everybody is going to be, broke except the people who have Bitcoin, because all the world's purchasing power is somehow going to shift to the Bitcoin holders at the expense of everybody who is too dumb like me to buy it. So people are just hoarding their Bitcoin. That's why they want it. They don't want to use it as a medium of exchange, as a unit of account. Nothing's priced in Bitcoin. People aren't really using Bitcoin. Yeah, there's a tiny fraction of people who actually might send some Bitcoin to somebody else to pay for something. But all the transactions with Bitcoin is speculators buying and selling it, day trading it, right? That's what people do with it. They trade it. So it's not being used at all for its monetary purposes. It's almost maybe 1%, 2% is being used potentially for that. And almost all of it is used by speculators who are either hoarding it or trading it.
So if I understand you correctly, the future of gold is to be consumed then? I mean, I would assume that's
all the
basically gold. Okay, well, that's obviously a speculation by you. We don't know what people are going to do with gold in the future.
Well, we know what they've done with it in the past. They've used it.
My question would be
this. When you use gold, it doesn't go away, though, right? That's the beauty of gold. Even if I use the gold, it's still here, right? It can be repurposed. Like all the gold jewelry I showed you can be melted down and used, in a computer, used in a rocket ship. It just because I've worn it as jewelry doesn't change the fact that it's still gold.
So you disagree with the Austrians that money is the asset that is held with the intention of trading in the future. You're saying that doesn't exist for gold.
No. People are doing that. But the reason that gold can be money is because it is a valuable metal that will have use cases in the future. Otherwise, there'd be no point in holding it.
Okay, and then I'm just gonna let that one go. I'll throw it back to Keith. I do have another point, a rabbit hole I'd like to go down at some point, though.
So,
what was the question that you had for me? Because I never got to let you ask it.
You did. I was asking you to address something specific. So,
okay.
Do you want to give your kids a foundation of freedom and understanding of Bitcoin and a healthy skepticism of government? Then you should try Tuttle Twins. It's a cartoon about a grandma with a time-traveling wheelchair who takes her grandkids on hilarious adventures to learn about economics and freedom. Think the education of Magic School Bus meets the comedy of The Simpsons. With Tuttle Twins, your kids can learn about Bitcoin from Satoshi Nakamoto, civil disobedience from Harriet Tubman, natural rights from John Locke, and how to destroy the economy from Karl Marx. Today, Hollywood greenlights a lot of woke content or mindless garbage. Each episode of Tuttle Twins is parent-funded, parent-vetted, and only released when it's parent-approved. Because Tuttle Twins is fan-funded, it was the world's first kids show to teach about Bitcoin. That episode alone has been seen over 40 million times and was tweeted about by Michael Saylor. You can watch episodes of Tuttle Twins for free right now. And if you like what you see, you can use code BREEDLOVE for 10% off a subscription to the Angel Studios app and watch all of the episodes. So go to angel.com/breedlove to discover Tuttle Twins today. And remember to use code BREEDLOVE for 10% off. One of my highest health priorities is keeping my brain in top shape. To take care of my brain power, I do many things, such as striving to read, write, exercise, and meditate daily. One of the latest tools in my brain power toolkit is Mind Lab Pro. Mind Lab Pro is a nootropic supplement that is scientifically proven to enhance your brain power. When I take Mind Lab Pro, my mind feels like it has a better grip on the world, my thinking is more lucid, and the articulation of my speech is radically improved. MindLab Pro has been tested in rigorous, double-blind, placebo-controlled human trials and has been proven to enhance brain power for users in every age group. MindLab Pro is an advanced formulation of 11 nootropic ingredients and is backed by research from over 1,400 human trials conducted over the past 32 years. So if you're looking to enhance your brain power, MindLab Pro is an excellent solution. Go to mindlabpro.com/breedlove to start enhancing your brain power today. Again, that's mindlabpro.com/breedlove.
Mr. Breedlove, when it comes to Peter's previous claim that we have every reason to believe that in 100 years people will value gold for the reasons he previously said, why should we have the same level of confidence in 100 years that people are more likely to value Bitcoin and it will hold its value?
Boy, I really don't like the word should, and I'm not here to be prescriptive to anyone. Again, I think it's just, for me, a matter of saying a future that is digital, that has electricity, internet, and AI. What percentage probability do I assign to that world, to the future of the world going that direction? And what probability do I assign to the future of the world going the direction of no electricity, no internet, no AI? That's how I look at cash balances, because ultimately Bitcoin is the dominant money in that world where you need to move money trustlessly without promises through telecommunication networks like the internet. And gold is the medium for moving purchasing power trustlessly in a physical environment. So that's how I frame it up. I can't tell you why people should believe Bitcoin will be here in 100 years. Gold, I would give gold this one. It's much more likely that gold is here in 100 years than Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's only been around for 15 years. So if the Lindy effect is true, right, and that the life expectancy of a technology is proportional to its lifespan thus far, which is like inverse to what an organism is, right? The older I get, the shorter my life expectancy becomes. But the older an idea gets, the longer its life expectancy becomes. Well, gold's been around for 5,000 years as money. I don't expect it to be gone in 100. Bitcoin's been around for 15. All I can tell you is that when I look at what is money, and I get down to those 5 properties of money that we went through, Bitcoin effectively perfects all of them. And that is very interesting, right? So the rabbit hole I want to jump into at some point is, I heard Peter say on one of the podcasts that, can you think of one example in human history where something that man had made that man did not later make better? That's a rabbit hole I would like to jump into at some point.
Let's go through the 3 characteristics that Mr. Schiff brought up, and then I will ask you if you have any questions for him or statements you'd like him to respond to. I'll do that for each of you. Mr. Schiff, you mentioned money needs to be a store of value. What are the problems with Bitcoin? Why is gold a better store of value?
Yeah, I mentioned that because Bitcoin doesn't have value that can be stored. Gold, when you own gold, you're storing the metal that will not decay over time. It will not tarnish. When they find a shipwreck, some Spanish ship went down 500 years ago, and they've managed to salvage it, and generally all that's left is the gold that they were carrying, and it looks exactly the way it looked the day it sunk. Everything else is destroyed by the sea and the elements, and the gold is as pristine as the day that they made the coins. And so gold's value doesn't go away. Bitcoin doesn't have value. It doesn't start with value, so there's nothing to store. What Bitcoin has is a price, and I would concede that Bitcoin has, for now, a high price. But you can't store a price. I mean, a price represents a glimpse of a moment of time based on supply and demand. How much Bitcoin is there that people want to sell, and how much Bitcoin do other people want to buy, and where they intersect at any moment in time is going to give you a price. And so Bitcoin has a price, and the price has gone up a lot since it was first created. But you can't store that. No one knows what the price of Bitcoin is going to be in the future. No one knows if Bitcoin will have a price at all. It may not even be here.
Mr. Breedlove.
Yeah.
Mr. Breedlove, when it comes to store of value, what do people need to know about Bitcoin's store of value benefits?
Yeah, if I can semantically disentangle this thing. Again, if value is subjective, you might be asking yourself, how can you store value at all? And the answer is, well, actually, you can't store value. A value cannot be stored, right? What are you doing? You're basically holding an asset and speculating that other people will value it in the future and will be willing to trade you something for it. So store of value is actually preserving purchasing power across time. And you have to speculate in order to do that because you never know what other people are going to want. This is the nature of markets, right? So when Mises said that all human action is speculation, I think he was pretty right about that. So